All right, so what I've done is I've split it up here so that you can see the tester class here where we're going to make our objects, and we have our account. So again, what I told you is that's in the tester class, this would be like where the user walks into the bank and says, I want to create an account. This part right here is where the teller gets your information and creates your account. Once your account is created, you have the ability to deposit money, you have the ability to withdraw money, etc., etc. These are things that you are capable of doing once an object is created out of you. So right off the bat, what I want to do is I want to say from the bank account class here, import this bank account right here. So for the bank account module, import the bank account class. And right off the bat, we're going to do it the manual way to start off. I'm going to say user1 equals new bank account. Now, this specifically asks for two parameters. Oh, I don't think I need a bank account there. It specifically asks for two parameters. You need a name and a balance. And you'll notice that name is a string and balance is a number. So I am going to say my name and comma 0. Now it's important because what you have to do, you have to follow protocol. Now notice that we have self here. Ignore that. Name and balance. Name came first, balance came second. I want to follow that protocol here. String first, number second. If I had balance and then name, I'd put balance first and then the string, etc. So you want to make sure that you follow that protocol. So now that I've done this, remember I use the dot operator, user1 dot, you'll see that I have a balance, I have a name, I have a deposit, I have a withdraw method. This is great. This means that we created our object correctly. So just to test it, I have a starting balance of 1,000. I'm going to deposit $900. So what's happening now is this method is running. It's spitting back I send 900 to here, to this amount. Within this object here, remember we get our own copy. So 900 is added to this balance, and technically what's happening is this is spitting back data. Now notice the way that I'm using it. I'm just running it. It's not going to print to the console. If I run this right now, notice that nothing really happens, but also there's no error. You're fine. Okay? If I wanted to store it in a variable, I could say x equals, oops, there we go, x equals, and then I could do print x. What'll happen? I should have $1,900. Boom. Okay? Or I could simply print this. The key thing, and it gets $1,900 as well, the key thing that I want you to see is return is actually spitting back data for me to use. It is spitting back at double. So I'm going to get rid of the print for right now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say user1 dot withdraw. And I'm going to say, let's say right now I have $1,900. I'm going to withdraw $600, which I know is safe. Oops. Run it. Okay, good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to withdraw $2,600. Now notice, if I was low, it returned the balance. Regardless, it's going to return data, but if I overdraw, I should get this print method. Run it. Oops. Run it one more time. There we go. Insufficient funds. So, as you can see, this is testing it, it failed, and it's still returning a balance, which is great. That's what we want. So that being said, this is how we manually make the user. I could do user 2, user 3, etc., etc. But let's say we wanted to ask the teller. Like let's say you wanted to be the teller. I'm going to say name equals raw underscore input. Welcome. What is your name? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this name, I'm going to store it in here, and then I'm going to say balance equals input, because it's numerical, how much money would you like to deposit? So what I've done is I'm getting two variables, and the reason I'm getting these two variables, one's a string, one's a double. I'm going to create a bank account based on the information they give me. So I'm going to say user2 equals bank account. Now I follow protocol. What comes first? A string. I'm going to say name and then my double. So if I wanted to now run this, I'm going to do this just so you can see deposit, print, deposit, and actually, you know what? I'm just going to print user2 dot balance just so you can see how much money they have, and it should be different than user one's. We'll get rid of this withdrawal. So user one should have $1,900. Let's see what happens now. Okay, what is your name? We'll just say John Doe. How much money would you like to deposit? I'm going to say $95. It printed back $95. So what's happening is user 2, it has its own bank account methods. User 1, it has its own bank account methods and variables, etc., etc. They do not know each other exist. The key thing that you have to take out of this whole practice is that you are creating what we call objects. They're mythical. It's basically containers. User 2 has its own container of this stuff. User 1 has its own container of this stuff. That is the lecture. That is everything. There is no quiz on Tuesday, but we are going to review this because this is the last thing that you will need to know. All right, good luck.